So hello guys, and welcome to part 3 of choosing your university. You might be wondering why I'm making so many parts. It's because I'm recording on something that only lets me do 5-minute videos. It was free, so I was like, why not? Um, when it comes to something like cost, that's probably the biggest thing that decides whether people go to college at all or not. In the end, in these videos, I'm not a college counselor, so I'm not saying you should listen to me. Essentially, what I'm doing with this channel is I am just trying to tell you what I learned from my experience. From my experience, it does not matter how much university costs. I'm not saying that it doesn't matter how much it costs, essentially. I'm just saying that most of the time, where there is need, there is financial aid opportunities. Um, it was within my experience that the cheaper universities offer me way less financial aid than the expensive ones. For example, Colgate University's tuition is $70,000 per year. Yet they offered me so much that I only need to pay $8,000, which I managed to achieve through scholarships. On the other hand, UT cost $25,000, around that per year, and they offered me only $4,000 in financial aid, and everything else was loans. So you see the difference here, right? A university that's way cheaper would have cost me way more than a university that's a lot more expensive, and that gets into the whole public and private thing, which I'm gonna talk about in the next video, because this is really a huge topic. But from my experience, don't let costs cripple what you plan on applying to. Apply to everything. Like, it does not matter. If you really need the money, they will help you out. Um, and that does have to do a lot with private schools, but as I mentioned, I'll talk about that later. However, many universities do have this really useful thing called the net price calculator. So this is Harvard University. They have this like thing where you put in how much your parents make, like assets that you may have in the bank or whatever. And these are really useful because they help you see before you even apply what this university would potentially award you. And a lot of them also include your grades, because a lot of universities, they also offer financial aid awards or scholarships based on grades. Um, but yeah, like the main thing I want to mention in this video is, do not let cost stop you from applying to university. Um, my parents don't essentially make like a lot, but they're not poor either. Like, I've never been below the poverty line. So for me, it was a experience that public universities in Texas did not offer me that much. Private ones offered me a lot more, because in comparison to their student population, I was kind of poor, I guess, in a way. Um, but yeah, like, don't not apply to a school because it's super expensive. In the end, if they don't offer you anything, well, oh well, you didn't lose anything from trying. Um, but yeah, like I said, like a university that cost $70,000 offered me basically $62,000, which is like incredible. Because UT or like A&M didn't offer me that much, even though the universities are cheaper. But it's kind of to do with the demographics of the students who are applying. So I'll mention that in the next video as well. You have to play the game kind of smart, in my opinion. If your parents make a lot of money, you probably would not receive that much financial aid from universities in Texas that are public, unless you have incredible grades. But if your parents don't make that much and you're below the poverty line, you probably will get a pretty good deal from most universities. You just have to know how to play the demographics of that school. The university that I'm going to, its majority of students are kind of wealthy, I suppose I would say, because it's in the area it's located. A lot of students from wealthy families go there. So in comparison to them, I don't have that much money. But in comparison to students here in Texas, my parents probably make more than the average student. And so that really, really, really matters. In the next video, I'll talk about public versus private universities. I'll talk about something called meeting 100% of financial need, because it's also really important. So yeah, the main message of the video is basically just that. Don't let the cost scare you from applying. Apply anyways. But you can also use really useful resources like net price calculators to determine whether or not that school will offer you a lot of financial aid.